I guess we'll go to the power ranking. I think I do have the right thing open, right? This one. Yeah, all right. So yeah, we'll just run through them in alphabetical order because they're here in alphabetical order. Um, Angelina. I mean, one so far, obviously, but probably dead edit wise. I would just like, is Angelina gonna be at the bottom? I feel like she's almost definitely going to be at the bottom, right? Um, Generally, that's why I thought Tez was going home. Because like I thought this was like the typical Australian Survivor thing of like Tez isn't on the show until now he's getting like content and it's negative and like they're gonna like set up his boot, but then like it never came up by the end. Like it just never flipped onto him by the end. So I'm like, oh, okay, I guess not. Um, but yeah, Angelina, I feel like is probably gonna be at the bottom, but obviously like just starting alphabetically, she's one. But yeah, just like no depth there. Gets clowned on by Q this episode. Just like nothing in the premiere of any like substance outside of mentioning. What'd she mention? Did she mention the jacket moment? I don't even fucking remember anymore in the opening confessional on Vatu. But either way, there's not much there from Angelina. Aubrey is obviously above Angelina now. I still do feel like Aubrey's edit is like very circumstantial. Um, where like this episode, the content that's there is good, but it's only good, or like it's only, or not only there, but like it seems to be there because she gets the idol by the end. Like I do think Aubrey is someone that could be set up for long term, but I don't know if Aubrey's someone that like I see winning with the edit she's been given. I feel like her opening is like so weak. Um, and like yeah, she got the content she probably should have gotten in the premiere in episode 2. Um, but again, I feel like it's a spot where I would see more of like a journey style edit for Aubrey than a winning edit. Like I would say like Aubrey's someone that like I could see coming out of this being like, okay, I redeemed myself from Edge of Extinction. I can have fun with Survivor again. But like I don't know if that's leading to a win. Um but yeah. Charlie, like below Aubrey at this point, probably I would say below or above Angelina, just because like Angelina's got negativity, Charlie hasn't. Charlie's still like a very like very shallow portrayal here, really just getting confessions about other people. We really know like nothing about where Charlie is in the game. But it's better than Angelina, who's the same thing but has negativity. Chrissy. Um I'm debating above or below Charlie. Actually, I'm even debating Aubrey. Actually, I think this is actually a tough one. Like, I thought Chrissy had like a passable premiere, not one that was like feeling like it was leading to a win, but like one that wasn't like she wasn't drawing dead. And I feel like this episode was pretty bad, especially because we didn't get any content from Chrissy herself. Right? It was just like people talking about Chrissy and talking about her negatively. Um, I do think Aubrey at least got an intro talking about Ko Wrong and that sort of stuff. Where like Chrissy got to talk about like, oh, I'm a strategist, I want to play whatever, but like not really much depth beyond that. I feel like I think I'll go above Charlie and Angelina. I feel like Charlie and Angelina just have like no depth, like like on their own, right? I'm trying to actually remember. Yeah, are we still in the spot where like Winter New Era has not had a Zero Confessional episode? That is the case, right? I think that trend continued. Um, so yeah, it's not good, but I don't know. I would still say her above Charlie from like everything outside that. Oh yeah, outside of Erica. Yeah, outside of Erica. Um, yeah, since Marianne, right? Christian's number one. Like that's not really a debate. I think Christian, oh, the one so far. Like maybe we'll debate following this, but like yeah, I would still think Christian's likely still end up being number one by the end. Just yeah, whatever I wanted to edit. I think the criticism is that he's a bit overexposed. Um, yeah, I feel like with Christian, there's definitely like a chance it turns eventually. But I think for now he's looking pretty good. Suri, I think is number two of the people so far. I think below Christian. but I thought had a decent episode. Generally, it was a pretty good episode. I still think the problem with Suri for me is that I feel like we're lacking a lot of depth from Suri in terms of like her place in Survivor history outside of her Game Changers confessional or her Game Changers speech that was played at the beginning of the first episode. And like I don't know if that's enough. But like I do feel like Suri like there is like a debatably some setup there. And then I feel like she got good strategic content in this episode. But, like, I feel like she's still not going to be, like, at the very, very top. But, like, I feel like other people so far, she's easily number 2. What I said about Christian, I think Christian's, like, his edit is good for now. I do think long-term I do worry. But, like, of the people so far, he's, like, very clear to number 1. And I think he might still end up being number 1 by the end of this anyway. Considering I don't feel like many people have, like, a super consistent edit so far. But yeah, where are we at now? Yeah, there's a lot of great SPV for Suri, like second was it second person perspective? I forgot what the XP. No, second person visibility. That's what it is. But yeah, it's still like I wish we got more from Suri herself though. Coach. I don't know what to do with Coach after this episode. I think I would go 3 of the people so far. Like, I think below Christian, below Suri, above Aubrey. I think an issue for Coach is that he is from, like, what is very clearly the least developed tribe. Mind you, he's, like, the main character from that tribe, but, like, it's not looking great for that tribe in general. Yeah, really outside that, it's like he got like some weird like personal content here, but like I don't know if that we were meant to like I don't know how we're meant to be taking that. Yeah, it's like I feel like he's like being portrayed as like a bit of a hypocrite. But I don't know. Like I feel like it's still like better than the people that are barely on the show, but like not great in the grand scheme of things. Colby, I'm debating 2 or 3 for Colby. I feel like Colby's definitely above Coach. Him and Suri I think is interesting. I wish we got a little bit more from Colby in this episode. But it's not really like the death knell. Like I feel like we still like have a pretty good sense of where Colby is in the game. He got a pretty good premiere for the most part. Nothing in this episode really changes much of what he got last episode. I kind of feel I think I'm gonna go 2 for Colby of the people so far. Like, I feel like in comparison to Suri, I feel like Colby's premiere is just so much stronger, and I feel like the premiere is much more important than episode 2. Especially because even with Suri, it's like a lot of her content doesn't come until post-tribal. Like, it felt like a lot of her, like, good content came, like, in the back half of the episode, which is, like, fairly late. Because, like, to me, like, that was the real introduction of Suri on this season. It's like, yeah, she got content in episode 1, but, like, it wasn't, like, that... Like, it was, like, kind of shallow content. To where, like, the fact that, like, Suri's, like, real content starts, like, as they're, like, leading into the second tribal. It's like, that feels a tad late. Anyway, D. I think D... D's tough. I'm thinking above Aubrey... But I don't know. The tough thing about D is, like, okay, D had a very good opening confessional and then proceeded to get nothing else for the premiere. Then in this episode, she gets another confessional, but it's like really just her talking about, like, Coach being old or whatever. I do think we're looking at her as, like, a reliable narrator, like, in comparison to Coach. So at least that's something. And she's gotten, like, consistent, like, she's gotten, like, 2 episodes with confessionals. So... like, that's something. I think I am leaning towards probably, yeah, above Coach. Especially because I think we're meant to be, like... agreeing with D more than Coach. And I feel like Coach's... like, obviously Coach's content's, like, a bit, like, negatively tinged. Emily? This was kind of a meh episode for Emily. I think in general, Emily... I don't think Coach is a very, very viable winner at this point. like D is someone that I think like there's at least a chance her edit like pops up after the swap and she becomes like a main character, like dominates the game. Coach is someone that like I think we're meant to be siding against Coach, or at least like looking at him as like again a bit of a joke. But yeah, where are we at? Emily, yeah, I think probably above D. She has more content. I am very worried for Emily's edit in the sense that like she is not getting her way. And I feel like the edit's been making it very clear she's not getting her way. Like, we got it set up now twice. The fact that she wants Ozzy out and doesn't get her way both times. And I feel like that's not great. It's not the death knell, especially in, like, the new era. But, in general, like, I feel like her edit does lack depth, especially in comparison to, like, the Christian Devons of it all. Like, I feel like it's very clear that she's, like, very close to Suri, and that's just not really being shown in the show. So yeah, I think above D, just because like she is getting like actually a fair share of content, but I don't know if it's leading to a win. Genevieve, just kind of a like okay episode for Genevieve by the end. I don't think much here changes for Genevieve. I do think it's I don't know how we're supposed to be interpreting the majority alliance on Batu. I think is the thing that I'm still like unsure about. Where like I'm not sure if we're meant to be like rooting against them or what. Like, because like I think the edit is like portraying like Aubrey as like an underdog at this point. But like I don't know if we're meant to be like oh, this majority alliance sucks. I don't know. Does she dip below Colby? I think she might, but not for like her actual content in this episode. I think the problem with Genevieve is that her content was so circumstantial. Where like Colby's, I feel like his content was not circumstantial. It was kind of like it didn't need to be there. They just genuinely gave it to Colby. Genevieve, it needed to be there because she was like Kyle's number one ally. Kyle leaves the game, and then like all of her content in this episode was like around Kyle and this like rivalry with Aubrey. And it's like I feel like the content there, like a lot more of it is circumstantial than Colby. And I guess to be fair, Colby did have a journey last episode. But I think my gut does tell me below Colby though. Still probably above Suri though. I should do this in a much better way than okay. And of course my computer's lagging as I do that. Okay, what the fuck? Whatever. Joe is next. I don't know. Like, Joe is, like, fairly dead edit-wise, right? I don't know if he's last. But it's pretty bad. Obviously we saw a lot of it from Devin's perspective and him, like, dunking on Joe. Like, that's pretty bad. He's at least getting content on the show, but, like, this isn't good content to get. I think definitely below Coach. Like, that's pretty easy. I would say even, like, below Aubrey. I think even below Chrissy. I think still above Charlie and Angelina. I don't know. Actually, maybe even below. I don't know. Charlie, I think, is debatable. I would say definitely above Angelina. I think Angelina's definitely worse. Like, Angelina's getting clowned on and also isn't on the show. At least Joe is on the show. But yeah, like, I think Charlie, like, at least is, like, a consistent... but then again, Joe's been getting... No, actually, no, I'm going to put Joe above Charlie. Joe at least is getting this content about, like, oh, I have, like, this PTSD over Kyle and Camilla. And, like, we have at least, like, more... Like, there's more there with Joe's edit than Charlie. Where, like, no, like... Actually, I guess to be fair, Charlie did mention I like working with older women this episode. But I still feel like Joe's above Charlie. Jonathan, if Jonathan was not on Kahlo, genuinely Jonathan might be number one. Like, I think Jonathan's gotten a really good edit so far. I get it's a shame that he's not that I'm rooting for Jonathan or anything, but like in terms of like from an edit perspective, if he was not on Kahlo, which is like by far the least developed tribe, like I think his edit would be the best. Like, he has been consistently on the show, but not overexposed. We've gotten him talking about, like, oh, I'm going to change my game. We got a setup of his relationship with Coach in this episode. Um, it's pretty good. I think definitely above Suri. And then I don't think above Christian, just because he is from Kahlo. I would debate him and Colby. And, like, I think Colby and Genevieve are back to back. And I think Jonathan's either above or below both of them. He did save Coach's life. That is true. I think I'm gonna go above. Like, I think the fact that he's like this main highlight of his tribe. Okay, you know, actually, I think it's easier just to go through everyone and mark it down by one. But anyway, I think the fact that he's like really the main highlight of his tribe is like I think it's like, considering his tribe doesn't go to tribal, his tribe has like nothing going on seemingly. I feel like that's at least excusable for Jonathan, from an edit perspective, to where like, yeah, he's like, he got a lot of content, or not a lot of content, but like the content he got in the premiere is pretty good. He got pretty much the bulk of their content this episode, to where I think considering that tribe has like nothing going on, never goes to tribal, I think that's a good enough opening for him. All things considered. Camilla. Like at least, like she's towards above Angelina. I'm debating above or below Angelina. I think above because she hasn't been clowned on like Angelina. But I actually do feel like it's kind of close. Like, I think the fact that Camilla like didn't really get to talk about Kyle in confessional is kind of bad. But like, I guess she did talk about the challenge. But yeah, it's like there's not enough negativity surround. Like, there's not as much. Well, there's really no negativity surrounding her in comparison to Angelina. So yeah, I'll put her above. Mike. Mike's just kind of there. Like, from it like an editor perspective, like I don't feel like there's much to say about Mike. He's just, yeah, he's there on the least developed tribe, but he's getting like narrational content here and there. I would say he's probably around where D is. I think I would lean. Okay, actually, interesting. I didn't realize I had Mike above last time because I was actually thinking below. No, I think it's kind of close because like I feel like D's opening confessional is like so good. And it's like I feel like their edit this episode was like around the same, but Mike did have more content in the premiere. I feel like my gut just feels like D's edit can turn around more than Mike's. Or like I still feel like that first confessional was like really good, to where like Mike hasn't really had like content that good. It's just that he's always there. So I do feel like my gut says Mike below D. Yeah, then Ozzy. I think Ozzy's around where Coach is. So I have Coach at 9. I think Ozzy's above Coach. But that might be where I stop? I don't know. What did he say in the confessional? That like if you thought I was cutthroat last time, this time I'm gonna be more cutthroat. And then she got to talk about like all the people in her tribe and everything. But yeah. Then he also, yeah, like the D, like, oh, D's a threat and everything, like all that sort of content from Chrissy last episode too. Yeah, like I think Ozzy's definitely winning the battle, but I feel like Ozzy at this point is just like, is there to prop up Suri, is what it feels like Ozzy is there for. Like it really feels like he's there just like as like Suri's side piece. And like considering how he was like kind of clowned on a bit last episode, and like even here he's like still being talked about as a target. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put him below, probably, yeah, below Mike White, probably even. I think one spot above coach is kind of what I feel. Like I don't feel like Ozzy's being set up for success here. Or like success as in like winning the game. Like it just feels like he's like the side piece to Sri's story at this point. Q. Pretty good episode for Q for the most part. It's Tyson, that's his side piece. Yeah, Q. I thought this is a pretty good episode for Q for the most part. Like he's really become like the main narrator of his alliance, which is pretty good. Again, there's not much. Like I still think his premiere was fairly lacking, and we still have not gotten any like no big mistake, no cancel Christmas, no like set up his relationship with Aubrey, which I think is worrying. But he's like a fine, like middle of the road sort of. Like I think he's like essentially like the D and Mike of his tribe. Like obviously he's getting more content, but like that's because his tribe is going to try, or like I guess not going to tribal, but his tribe is like there's more going on there with the Kyle medevac and all that sort of stuff. But I guess we do have more depth from him, right? We do at least know where he is in the game more, so I guess he's above D. Now I think debating him and Emily. I think I'll go above Emily actually, because like I feel like Emily's going to tribals, so it's like it kind of like makes more sense why she's getting more content. And even then, it's like we're showing her like wanting to take Ozzy out and then failing, so it's like I feel like Q goes above Emily. Actually, should I debate him and Suri? I feel like Suri's just better, right? I think Suri's like, I think there's more room for Suri's edit to grow than Q's, particularly coming from the premiere. Okay, cool. Then Rick. This is just a mixed bag for Rick. I think Rick is clearly going to be one of the biggest players of the season. I don't know if I see the winner potential necessarily anymore. Like I thought he got a pretty good premiere episode. And like he's still like a viable winner for sure, but like he's like obviously yeah, his Joe feud was pretty bad for the most part. Like to be fair, it could have been worse, I feel like. Like I feel like the edit definitely sided with Rick, but it's still not good content to have. And like I feel like Christian's like kind of usurping his content quite a bit. And yeah, I feel like that's also potential too, is that like I feel like it's like potential setup for a fall. I think he's definitely below Jonathan. I think he's definitely above Q still. And then, like I'm debating like in this range of like Colby, Genevieve, Suri. I think I'm still gonna go above Suri, below Colby and Genevieve. I think is where I'm gonna land. Where like I still think he got a like good premiere. To like he's not like dead to rights or anything, but I definitely think this was like kind of a red flag of an episode for him. Again, this is such a pain of the way I'm doing this, but that's fine. Rizzo, my man. Genuinely like a pretty good episode for Rizzo. I will say I didn't love the gameplay of the episode. Where like generally I did not feel great about how Rizzo's playing this. I feel like if anything, like this actually makes me feel worse about Rizzo. The fact that he's like, because like him talking in confessional about like I didn't come here to play camp. I came here to play Survivor. It's like, well, that's just showing you not really knowing how to play Survivor then. Like if you're like, because again, like part of Survivor is blending in with your group. The fact that like you're like, oh, I'm not gonna do work around camp when everyone else is doing work around camp. It's like, well, you're not fucking playing the game then, or playing well. But yeah, either way, Rizzo got good at it. I mean, like I still think it's like there's still the content about laziness and all that. That's pretty bad. But I think he's definitely up from where it was last week. I would say he's around where Emily is. I would say above Emily because Emily's going to tribals. Him and Q, I think, is a debate. I kind of feel above Q. I don't know because but then Q's like getting a lot of the content about like shitting on Rizzo and Angelina and like that sort of stuff. So it's like, he has no story on this season. I disagree with that. I think Rizzo has a story. That's kind of why I'm so high on Rizzo. Is that Rizzo definitely has a story on this season. Like he actually gets like one of the first confessionals of the season talking about like I want to prove that I'm a legend and all that sort of stuff. And then this episode is like talking about like if I can like blend in these legends so quickly, then I'm gonna be here for a while. It's like I feel like there's definitely a story for Rizzo. Like that's really the main reason I'm so high on him because like I feel like outside that Rizzo isn't that good. But it's the fact that he does have a story that is actually making him good here. I think I am gonna go above Q. I think it feels like there's more like long-term storytelling there for Rizzo than with Q. Who's 6? Suri. Yeah, I'll probably still go Suri above Rizzo. Considering Rizzo does have like all that negativity mixed in there too. But yeah, where are we at? We're at Stephanie. Pretty bad episode for Stephanie. I thought Stephanie had a very good premiere, and then it's just like dead. It's not the death knell, but then again, like obviously people will say it is because she got 0 confessionals, but like I don't think that's the death knell. But it definitely does drop her. Like she's definitely below Colby, below Genevieve, below Rick. I think below. I think Cherie's where I'm debating it. I think probably still above Rizzo. I don't know. Maybe not, actually. Oh, maybe it stops at. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe Q. I think it's like around like this. Like, I think it's like either right above Rizzo or right above Q. Like, I think Rizzo at least has a story. Stephanie doesn't really, but like she did get a good amount of content in the premiere. I kind of feel like I'm gonna give her below Rizzo. I guess where my gut's saying right now. Like I think Rizzo, like I feel like they're taking a lot of time to set up Rizzo. To where like I don't know if it's set up for a win, but it's definitely set up for like a long-term storyline. Like I feel like Stephanie doesn't really have that. So like I think she had a good premiere, but like her being like pretty dead in this episode, it's like I don't know, that's a pretty big knock. Where like when Rizzo had like content in both episodes. Tiffany, yeah, Tiffany is towards the bottom. I mean, like above Angelina, and then I think debate with Camilla. I think below Camilla. I don't know. Actually, I think that one's tough because like, yeah, Tiffany only has 1 confessional, but also her tribe's not going to tribal. It's like, I mean, I guess this is the same thing with Camilla though. Like, I think with Camilla, like for me, it feels like do I knock Camilla more for not having a confessional about Kyle? I think is like the main thing because it feels like Camilla's in a spot where like she should get more content and then she doesn't. Where like Tiffany, there's no real content to give Tiffany, that you have to give Tiffany for. So like I think that's like my dilemma, because it feels like it would have been very easy to give Camilla content and they just didn't. But she did get a better premiere though, so I think I will. Yeah, I think I'll put Camilla higher. I think Camilla still got a better premiere. She at least got to talk about Kyle on the mat. So I think that's good enough. But like ultimately, obviously, they're all fucking dead anyway. Edit wise, to clarify. Um, but yeah, so there we go. That's that.